graph page 341. Okay, and our last headword was region, newer type of lesson. Okay, so let's start with our revision. Okay, let me just scroll down. Okay, here we go. First question. Okay, so do you think that all the countries of the world will unite one day? Do you think that all the countries of the world will unite one day? Yes or no?
No,
I
I don't
don't think
think
that.
all the countries of the world will unite one day.
Very good. Give me a sentence with the word even in it. Give me sentences with the word even in it, please. He speaks
He
Russian,
speaks
German,
Russian, German,
French,
French,
and even
and even
Chinese.
Chinese.
He was very
He
impolite.
was very
He
impolite.
didn't
He
even
didn't
say
even say
hello.
hello.
Well, it's
It's
very
very
simple.
simple.
Even a child
Even
could
the child
understand it.
could understand it.
Well, do we generally mix sugar with potatoes? Do we generally mix sugar with potatoes? No, we
No,
don't
we don't
generally mix
generally mix sugar
sugar
with
with
potatoes.
potatoes. Do you think a mixture of tea and coffee would make a pleasant drink? Do you think a mixture of tea and coffee would make a pleasant drink? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
a
a
mixture
mixture of
of
tea
tea
and
and coffee
coffee
would make
could make
a
a
pleasant
pleasant drink.
it would
It would
make
make
an
an unpleasant
unpleasant
drink.
drink. Very. If you mix some red and white paint together, what would you get? If you mix some red and white paint together, what would you get? If I
If
mix
I
some
mix
red
some
and
red
white
and
paint,
white paint together,
I'd get
I'd get pink paint.
very good. Who cared for you when you were a child? Who cared for you when you were a child? My mother
My
cared for
mother
me
cared for
when
me
I
when I
was
was a child.
very good. Do you think the young should take care of the old? Do you think the young should take care of the old? Yes, I
Yes,
think the
I
young
think the
should
young
take
should
care
take
of
care
the
of the
old.
old.
Do you take good care of your health? Do you take good care of your health? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
take
take
good
good
care
care
of
of
my
my
health.
health.
Do you care what people think or say about you? Do you care what people think or say about you? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
care
care
what people
what
think
people
or
think
say
and
about
say
me.
about me.
Very good. If you were late for a very important appointment, would you take your time? If you were late for a very important appointment, would you take your time? No. If I
No,
were
if
late
I were
for a
late
very
for very
important
important
appointment,
appointment,
I wouldn't
I
take
wouldn't
my
take
time.
my time.
I'd
I'd
hurry.
hurry
Why? Why? Because it's
because it's
important to keep
important to keep
appointments that
appointment
we've
that
made.
we made.
Wait, why is it sometimes a big bad thing to hurry? Why is it sometimes a bad thing to hurry? It's sometimes a
It's
bad thing
sometimes
to hurry
easy to hurry
because we
because
often make
we often
mistakes
make
when we
mistake
hurry.
when we hurry.
Very good. Would you take your time going home if somebody told you your house was on fire? Would you take your time going home if somebody told you your house was on fire? No, I
No,
wouldn't
I
take my
wouldn't take
time
my time going
going home
home
if
if
somebody told me
somebody told
my
me my
house
house
was
was
on
on
fire.
fire.
I'd hurry.
I'd hurry.
Well, what's the translation of I am in a hurry in Japanese? What's the translation of I am in a hurry in Japanese? The
私
translation
は the translation
of I am in a
of
hurry
I am I
in
hurry
Japanese
in
is
Japanese is 私は急いでいる.
very good. What do the words plenty of mean? What do the words plenty of mean? The
The
words plenty
word
of
plenty of
means more
means
than enough.
more than enough.
Do people hurry when they have plenty of time? Do people hurry when they have plenty of time? No. People
No,
don't
people
hurry
don't
when
hurry
they have
when they
plenty of
have
time.
plenty of time.
They take their
They
time.
take good care time.
They take their time.
They take their time.
Wait, what's the opposite of plenty of water? What's the opposite of plenty of water? The
The
opposite of
opposite
plenty
of
of water
plenty of
is
water
little
is
water
little
or
water
not enough
or
water.
not enough water.
Very good. What's the difference between for and since? What's the difference between for and since? The difference
The
between
difference between
for and
for and
since
since
is that
is
we
that
use the
we
word
use
for
the word
when
for
we
to
say a
say
period of
when they
time,
say a period of time,
whereas we use
whereas we
the
use
word
the word
since when we
since
say the point
when we say a
at
point
which the
at
period
which
began. The
the
period,
period began.
very good. Give me some examples of for. Give me some examples of for, please. For half an
For
hour.
half an hour,
For
for
two
2 weeks,
weeks. Now give me some examples of since. Give me some examples of since, please. Since six
Since
o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Since
Since
last June.
last June.
Very good. How long have you been in that room for? How long have you been in that room for? I've been in
I've
this
been
room
in this
for.
room for 5 minutes.
Very good. Since when have you been in that room? Since when have you been in that room? I've been in
I've
this
been
room
in this
since.
room since 4 p.m.
Very good. Okay. Next, how long have you lived in your town for? How long have you lived in your town for? I've lived
I
in
lived
this
in
town
this town
for.
for 3 years.
Since when have you lived in your town? Since when have you lived in your town? I've lived
I've
in
lived
this
in
town
this town
since.
since 2021.
Very good. About how long have you known me for? About how long have you known me for? I've known
I've
you
known
for
you for
about.
about 3 months.
Since when have you known me? Since when have you known me? I've known
I've
you
known
since.
you since last October.
Very good. Have you been able to speak English for more than 10 years? Have you been able to speak English for more than 10 years? Yes or no?
No, I
I
haven't been able to speak English for
For
more
more
than
than
10
10
years.
years. Have you been able to speak English since you were a young child? Have you been able to speak English since you were a young child? Yes or no?
No, I
I
haven't
haven't
been
been
able
able
to
to
speak
speak
English
English
when I was young
since
child.
since I was
Since I was
a
young
young
child.
child. Very good. What kind of things does a kitchen usually contain? What kind of things does a kitchen usually contain? A kitchen
A
usually
kitchen
contains
usually
a
contains
fridge,
a
a
fridge,
freezer,
a
a
freezer, a
cooker,
cook,
a sink,
a sink,
etc.
etc.
Does meat last longer in a fridge or a freezer? Does meat last longer in a fridge or a freezer? Meat lasts
Meat
longer
lasts
in a
longer
freezer.
in freezer.
Why do some people like using microwaves? Why do some people like using microwaves? Some people
Some
like
people like
using
using microwaves
because
when
they
they
cook food
because they cook food
very
very
quickly.
quickly.
Very good. Did you find English pronunciation a little difficult at the beginning of your studies? Did you find English pronunciation a little difficult at the beginning of your studies? Yes, I
Yes,
found
I
English
found English
pronunciation a
pronunciation
little
a little
difficult
difficult
at the
at
beginning
the
of
beginning
my
of my
studies.
studies.
Do you hope your English studies will help your future career? Do you hope your English studies will help your future career? Yes, I
Yes,
hope
I
my
hope
English
my
studies
English
will
studies
help my future
will help
career. My
my
future
future career.
career. Very good. Would you lend me some money if I ask you? Would you lend me some money if I ask you? No, I
No,
wouldn't
I
lend
wouldn't
you
lend
any
you
money
any
if
money
you ask
if
me.
you asked me.
If you lent something to somebody and they didn't return it, what did you do? If you lent something to somebody and they didn't return it, what did you do? If I lent
If I
something
lend
to
something
somebody
to
and
somebody
they didn't
and
return
they
it,
didn't return
I'd
it,
ask them to return it.
I'd ask them to return it.
Very good. What's your first name? What's your first name? My first
My
name's.
first name's Hiro.
What's your surname? What's your surname? My surname's.
My surname's Oshima.
Very good. Would you like to be famous? Would you like to be famous? Yes or no?
Yes,
I'd like.
I'd
One more.
like to be famous.
Very good. What's a film star? What's a film star? A film star
Film
is a
star is a
famous
famous
actor or
actor or
actress in the
actress
cinema
in the
world.
cinema world.
Tell me the names of some famous film stars. Tell me the names of some famous film stars, please. The names
Johnny
of
Depp.
some. Okay, one more. The names of
At
some
the names
famous film
of
stars
some famous star
are.
are Johnny Depp, George Clooney, Brad Pitt, etc.
Oh, George Clooney. I like it. Okay, next. Name a famous people in history. Name a few famous people in history, please. A few
A
famous
few
people
famous
in
people in
history
history
are
are
Shakespeare,
Shakespeare,
Einstein,
Einstein,
Michelangelo,
Michelangelo,
etc.
etc.
Very good. What's the most industrial city in your country? What's the most industrial city in your country?
Tokyo is
Is
the
the
most
most
industrial city in
in
my
my.
country.
What's the most agricultural region of your country? What's the most agricultural region of your country?
Hokkaido
Is
is
the
the most
most
agricultural
agricultural
region
of
of my
my.
country.
Very good. And that's the end of our revision. Let's have new word.
Okay.
Okay, so let's have the first word. Okay, repeat. Apologize.
Apologize.
Apology.
Apology.
Keep somebody waiting.
Keep somebody waiting.
Very good. Okay, listen. Apologize is a verb. It means to tell someone that you are sorry for doing something wrong. For example, when we do something wrong, we apologize. We say, I'm sorry. Apology is the noun of the verb apologize. Keep somebody waiting means to make somebody wait for a long time. For example, if you keep somebody waiting for a very long time, you should apologize. Let's practice. What do we say when we apologize for doing something wrong? What do we say when we apologize for doing something wrong? When we
When,
apologize
when we
for
apologize
doing something wrong,
for doing something
we
wrong,
say, I'm sorry.
we say, I'm sorry.
Wait, if you keep somebody waiting for a long time, should you apologize? If you keep somebody waiting for a long time, should you apologize? Yes.
Yes,
If you
if
keep somebody
I will keep somebody
waiting for a long time,
waiting for a long
you should
time, you
apologize.
should apologize.
Very good. What's the noun of the verb apologize? What's the noun of the verb apologize? The noun
The
of the
noun
verb
of the verb
apologize is
apologize is
apology.
apology.
Very good. Next, repeat avoid.
Avoid.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word avoid is a verb. It means to keep away from someone or something. For example, we can help to keep away from becoming ill by living a healthy life. Or we can say, we can help to avoid becoming ill by living a healthy life. Let's practice. How can we help to avoid becoming ill? How can we help to avoid becoming ill? We can help
We
to
can
avoid
help to avoid
becoming ill
becoming
by
ill
living a healthy
by
life.
living a healthy life.
Very good. Next, repeat bend.
Bent.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word bend is a verb. For example, when we get something from the floor, we bend.
Uh,
If we want to touch our feet, we have to bend down. Okay, let's practice. Do you have to bend down if you want to touch your feet? Do you have to bend down if you want to touch your feet? No, I don't
no,
have
I
to bend
I
down
don't have to bend
if
down
I want
if
to
I
touch my
if
feet,
I want to touch my feet,
but it would be
but it
the
would be
easiest way.
the easiest way.
Very good. Okay, next repeat century.
Century.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word century is a noun. It means a period of 100 years. For example, 19th century, 18th century, or 20th century. World War II happened in the 20th century. We are now at the 21st century. Okay, let's practice. Which do you think was the best century in history to live in? Which do you think was the best century in history to live in? I think
I
the
think the 21st century
was the
is
best
the
was the best
was the
century
best century
in
to
history
live
to
in
live
in
in.
history to live in.
Very good. One more. I think the
I
21st
think
century
the 21st
was the
century
best century
century
in
in
history to
history
live
to live
in.
in.
Very good. Okay, next repeat fashion.
Fashion.
Okay, very good. The word fashion is a noun. Fashion means the way people dress and the way people styles. For example, I like the fashion in clothes at the moment. Let's practice. Do you like the fashion in clothes at the moment? Do you like the fashion in clothes at the moment? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
like
like
the fashion
fashion.
in
The fashion
clothes
in
at the
clothes
moment.
at the moment.
Very good. Next, repeat gate.
Cake.
Very good. Listen, the word gate is a noun. It is the part of a fence or outside wall that you can open and close to enter or leave a place. For example, if we want to enter a school, we must go through its gate. Let's practice. Does this school have a gate outside it? Does this school have a gate outside it? Yes or no?
Yes,
This
this
school
school
has
has
a
a
gate
gate
outside it.
outside it.
Very good. Next, repeat worry.
Worry.
Be worried.
Be worried.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word worry is a verb. To worry means to think about something which makes you unhappy. For example, some people worry too much. You shouldn't worry if you don't immediately understand some of the grammar in this book because you will practice it again in other lessons and you can study it at home. Be worried is an adjective. For example, some people are worried about their future. Let's practice. Do some people worry too much? Do some people worry too much? Yes, some
Yes,
people
some
worry
people
too
worry too
much.
much.
Are you worried about your future? Are you worried about your future? Yes or no?
No,
I'm not
I
I'm not
I'm not
worried
worried
about my future.
about my future.
Wait, why should you not worry if you don't immediately understand some of the grammar in this book? Why should you not worry if you don't immediately understand some of the grammar in this book? I shouldn't
I
worry
shouldn't
if I don't
worry if
immediately
I don't
understand
immediately
some of the
understand
grammar
some of the
in this
grammar
book because
in this book
I will
because
practice it again
I will practice it
in
again
other lessons
in other
and I
lessons
can study it
and
at
I can
home.
study it at home.
Very good. Next, repeat run.
Wrong.
Very good. Okay, listen, the word run is a verb. It means to move very quickly by moving your legs more quickly than when you walk. For example, when we're in a hurry, we must run. Let's practice. When we're in a hurry, what must we do? When we're in a hurry, what must we do? When we're
When
in a
we are in a
hurry, we
hurry,
must run.
we must run.
Wait, what's the furthest you've ever run? What's the furthest you've ever run? The
The
furthest I've
farthest
ever
I've
run
ever run
is
is 10 kilometer.
very good. Next, repeat past continuous.
Past continuous.
Very good. Okay, so let's talk about past continuous. Okay, repeat. I was speaking.
I was speaking.
Particular.
Particular.
While.
While.
Very good. Okay, listen. So we use the present continuous for an action that is in progress now. Present continuous, progress now. For example, we are speaking English now. We use the past continuous for an action that was in progress at a particular time in the past already. For example, I was speaking English at this time yesterday. So that's the past. If I say I was sleeping at 4 o'clock this morning, it means that I went to sleep before 4 o'clock and I woke up after 4 o'clock. At 4 o'clock, I was in the middle of a period of sleeping. Let's practice. When do we use the present continuous? When do we use the present continuous? We use
We
the
use the
present
present
continuous for
continuous
an action
for an
that is
action
in progress
that
now.
is in progress now.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. I am speaking
I
English
am
now.
speaking English now.
When do we use the past continuous? When do we use the past continuous? We use the past
Use
continuous.
just the
Once more,
continuous.
we use the
We
past
use the
continuous
past
for an
continuous
action
for an
that
action
was in progress
that was
at
in
a
progress
particular time
at a particular
in the
time
past.
in the past.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. I was speaking English
I was
at
speaking
this
English
time yesterday.
at this time yesterday.
Very good. Okay, listen. The most common use of the past continuous is to say that an action was in progress when another action happened. For example, I was cooking lunch when she arrived. Means that when she arrived, I was in the middle of cooking lunch. Let's practice. Were you chatting to anybody when I came into the room at the beginning of the lesson? Were you chatting to anybody when I came into the room at the beginning of the lesson? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
was
was
chatting to
chatting
somebody
to
when you
somebody
came into the
when you
room
came into the
at the
room
beginning of the lesson.
at the beginning of the lesson.
Were the students standing or sitting when I left the classroom at the end of the last lesson? Were the students standing or sitting when I left the classroom at the end of the last lesson? The students were
The student was sitting.
when you left the classroom
You left the
at
classroom
the end of the last
at the
lesson.
end of the last lesson.
Reged, was it raining while you were coming to school today? Was it raining while you were coming to school today? Yes or no?
No,
It
it wasn't
wasn't
raining
while I was
before
coming
while I was coming
to school today.
to school today.
Very good. What were you doing at this time last Sunday? What were you doing at this time last Sunday? I was
I was playing Nintendo Switch.
at this time. Last
this
Sunday.
town last Sunday.
Very good. Do you think most people in your town were sleeping at midnight last night? Do you think most people in your town were sleeping at midnight last night? Yes, I
Yes,
think
I
most
think
people
most
in my
people was
town
in my
were
town
sleeping at
were
midnight
sleeping
last night.
at midnight last night.
Where were you living 10 years ago? Where were you living 10 years ago? I was living
I was living
where?
in
In in what
this town.
in what city? The same town? 10 years ago? Okay, one more. I was living
I was
here
living here
10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Earn.
Earned.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word earn is a verb. It means to receive money as payment for work that you have done or to make money. For example, a doctor earns about three 30 million pesos a year. I work to earn money or we work to make money. Let's practice. About how much does a doctor earn a year in your country? About how much does a doctor earn a year in your country? A doctor
A
earns
doctor
about
earns about 10 million yen
a
a
year
year
in my country.
in my country.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading. Okay, so our reading is at stage 4, paragraph page 244. Last headword was tired. Okay, start with the second question. What do you do when you feel tired?
What what do you do when you feel tired? When I feel tired, I go to bed. I'm tired of studying. No, I'm not tired of studying. Turn over.